So here you go. If you install Wireshark, and I'm going to go to program, see where my Wireshark is located. The thing about Wireshark that I want you to notice is that Wireshark has several other executables. So this is Wireshark here, and if you look in here, look, there's this. I have cap infos, I have a dump cap, I have edit cap, I have several other stuff, and T-Shark is one of those stuff. This is T-Shark here. I have a text to pcap, several other utility programs that are available inside Wireshark. Right? I can copy this URL, I mean this Windows part, and run my CMD. And I can do this. And go to CD, go to displays, go over here. And if I go to dir, I can see all these files here. Make any sense? One thing I can do that, I can demonstrate the use of each of these, very valuable executable for you. They are very, very important. I can make these to be part of Windows part, in which case I can call them up from anywhere. For example, if I want to make this to be part of Windows part, I can just go over here and I'll show you something here. I'll do just kind of show you one sneaky way to do this is I'm going to add it to my Windows part. So here is my computer here. Right click this, go to properties, and on my properties here I'm going to go to advanced system settings, and on the advanced I'm going to go to environment variables, and I'm going to go to my part. Here's my part. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go to new. See, I'm going to copy these, the part where Wireshark is, go to OK, and go to OK, go to OK, and that's just done. By just doing that, I've added, it to Windows part. Remember, now if I do cap infos and I reference 1085, right, and I say wait, I've got a couple of files here. Here's a pcap file. You see that? This with JPEG, it's a pcap file. Everybody agree with that? So if I say press enter, see, this guy gives me all the information that I need to know about that pcap file. Here's my command, cap infos. Cap info tells me that this JPEG, here is the size of the file, here is the number of packets it's got, here is the size. It even tells you the day this thing was actually done, 2014, 11. See that? So if I give you a packet and I ask you for certain information, give me the following packet, provide the following information. What day was the packet captured? How many packets do we have in the file? What is the capture duration? How long was the capture lasted? What is the SHA? What is the MD5 of this particular file? If you just run cap info, you will get all the answer. That's very simple. You understand what I'm saying? So I will take limited questions here because I'm recording, but feel free to also ask questions. Right? Okay. So go ahead.
Is there a reason why you...
So that's the advantage of using this. Is that it's scriptable. It's command line, and I can get a little nitty-gritty of what it is that I want to do. You understand? Now, there are certain other stuff like T-Shark that I can use, right? And I can run them. I can type this, and it will give me 1 second here. Actually, now if I just type T-Shark here, it would actually respond by one way or the other, say capturing this on this. That's default, right? However, I can run this, and I said this, and I gave you guys some instruction earlier in the class about Windom. And a lot of the options with Windows actually work with T-Sharp. By typing T-Sharp-D, I'm saying show me all the interface that I've got. You understand? And if I want T-Sharp to capture something on a particular interface, then I can specify. T-Sharp gives me unbelievable amount of specification. I can get really granular with T-Sharp. I can define several fields that I may not be able to define originally if I wasn't using T-Sharp field. You also make any sense? So you need to kind of know how to leverage the capability that I have with T-Sharp. I'm going to give you some other more example. By adding Wireshark to my Windows part, however, gives me a lot of options. So for example, if I wasn't in this part, say I go back to my whatever, if I type T-Sharp, the same thing that I did earlier, it wouldn't work. For the most part, Windows should not know it, right? But because Wireshark now is on Windows part, he knows it. If Wireshark is not on Windows part, then all the time you have to run T-Sharp from the directory in which Windows has installed Wireshark. Does that make any sense? So remember now, here before I have to do this. Where's my Wireshark now? I should go over here. Right? You can run T-Shark from this because he knows where T-Shark is, because that's the directory, that's the absolute path. But because Wireshark is now in Windows part, you could run it from any other location you want. The advantage of that is then I can go into my 1085 folder where my stuff is, and I can say T-Shark. So I can actually review what is it that I did earlier. T-Shark. And he knows it. And I don't have to traverse through a lot of path. If I just want to read a pickup file with T-Shark, I can just simply do this -r, which is going to be like to read, and I can say with a file like this. If I press enter, see, T-Shark just read it, just really quick. I can pipe this into more, which is going to allow me to page it. See what I've got with T-Shark now. It's pretty easy. But I can do HTTP analysis with T-Shark. How will I do that? I come over here and I say my T-Shark, I want to read the file, but I can also specify what fields I want. Okay, I can do this, -y. Now, it's very important for me to specify, and I've got to know that this thing has a web traffic. If it doesn't have a web traffic, then I might not be able to see certain field. Does that make any sense? So if I know it's got a web traffic, then it's a lot easier, right? Actually, let me see if I have something with web traffic here. Go to let's go with PNG for now. If we don't have it, we'll search for something else a little bit later. Alright, so I'm going to go here. If I want to specify my field, I can just go over and say my Y here. Okay? The reason I will do this for the most part is to be able to view certain fields that I would not be able to view otherwise. I can use T-Shark to read a file, but I can also use T-Shark to capture a file. in this case now, what I'm trying to do is actually to use T-Shark to just identify certain file. Alright, so if I want to just capture, I'm going to say -y here, right? And I'm going to go to HTTP. And this is when you're going to appreciate Wireshark. Because here, you will see certain things that I have to type that without Wireshark, I just build my rule with Wireshark. But here you have to actually type out those rules. So I can come over and say request, okay? And I can say -t, which is now I'm defining the fields. So I'm saying look for, HTTP request. It's got to be a web traffic to see this. And I'm saying inside the web request, field area or packet, look at this certain field. Now I'm going to begin to define the field. -e, that's field number 1. I can say I want to see HTTP dot host. That is if somebody actually browses a web server. If they do not, you won't see anything. You understand? So if I come over here and if I want to see more fields here, I can go over here and type something else. I can say HTTP dot user agent if I want to go for user agent. Right? I can even say -e again, IP SRC. Right? -e IPDST. If you don't know what you're doing and you just press enter here, look at what this thing gave me. T-Shark does not display everything. Initially, if I had just done this, spit everything out, correct? But when I go back here and I said I wanted to look at packet, HTTP request packet, inside this packet, look for these fields. I want to see HTTP host, user agent, this and this. When I press enter here, then it only gave me just this. See that? I'm interested in 4 areas. Number 1 is my HTTP host. That's the domain name that I'm going to. And see, told me bbc.co.uk, 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 SA, blah, blah. These are the fields. You see that? The next thing here, I say I want to see my user agent. And I can see is Mozilla Gecko. See that? The next thing I say I want to see is IP source. And these are the source IP address in this packet and destination. If I had edited this and I said, you know what, I don't want to see my user agent, that's too much information here, I could go over here and just do just that. And then you can see now I'm seeing the host, the source, the destination. See that? If I didn't want to see that and I just wanted to, if I didn't even want to see the HTTP request over here, there are a couple of other stuff that you could also do. If you are, let's say you do something like this. How does this thing handle it? So it's just going to show me just the source and the destination. You understand what I'm saying? You can see that I have more field here. I have more output here because not every source or destination IP is mapped to a host. But when I want them to be mapped to the host, I've got fewer fields. Because you have a source here that may not be a web server. So make any sense? You could see how I'm leveraging, T-Shark in this case to show me other stuff that I may not potentially be able to see otherwise. Now let's go back up here. Go back to what we had here when we see all of this. I could pipe this thing, especially if I was in a in Linux environment, or if I were to install this, I could actually sort it. I can sort them out, pipe it through sort command to arrange it for me, and I can say I only want to see the unit count, and then pipe it again to sort by a particular number. This is going to give you a little bit more granularity. We're not doing that at this point. However, there are other stuff I could also do. I can actually say I want to see DNS. So let me show you how to do that. Let's here, go back up. So I'm leaving the same file here. And here I have one very easy field. And then say, I'm going to go and look for my DNS ports or DNS field. If I do that, the key that you want to remember is what are the switch, what are the fields, what are the type of packets you want to view. Okay? If I want to just view the field, I can just type with my -T here. And that allows me to specify what sort of fields I want. Okay? Here are the fields. Then I'm going to say E. You can then begin. I can say I want to see the frame, the time, which is going to give you how much of time a particular packet is taking. I can go to -E. And I've done this one for you earlier on. IP source, right? -E. I can do IP destination. -E. Let's say I want to look at my DNS query. Alright? So I'm just going to come over and say DNS dot query is QRY, and you could say name here. Alright? And I can come over here -E again and say DNS, and I can look at my response, which is going to be RSP.ADR. If I were to type this, let me see, what do I have here? DNS response ADR. Now, let's say you have this. You said it's not valid, right? I thought it's valid, but I will show you how to overcome this, because this will absolutely happen. So this works, right? But let's go back to what he said the first time. It's very, very important. Let's say this is what you have, and it says this is not valid. Response is not valid. Then what would you do? Anybody have an idea what would you do? What would you do? Well, you could Google. That's a good solution. Absolutely, Google is an option. But I would do something a lot much easier than Googling, right? One of the things I'm going to do, since I'm using the PNG, I will go to Wireshark. Wireshark is the best way to build your rules, because I don't have to know their name, right? And then I will look at what Wireshark calls them, and whatever Wireshark calls them, that is the name that they are. So I'll come look for DNS here. If I have a DNS in that packet, there's no DNS in that packet, then I'll look for packet with a DNS. Let me see this one if it's got DNS in it. The key is to find a packet with the DNS and then look for how those fields, the name of those fields. This one doesn't have a field. Actually, that's very easy. I'll just collect my own traffic now. Let me see which of these interface is active. We'll find that one active interface now. It's probably going to be this one. This is my wireless network. This is local. This is my wireless. So I'll start listing my wireless, and then I'll go on the internet to generate traffic, right? I just go on the internet and generate all kinds of traffic. Go to Century College webpage. Go to Web Gallery. Go to MSDN. Go to what else? Other Home Advantage. Let's go to all this kind of a bookmark. Go to EMC login. I'm just going to go to all sort of places to generate, traffic. Go to Yahoo. Can even try and see if I can save an image. Let's call this image test. And where do we put it? Let's put it where we have all our other stuff, JPEG files here. What else do we want to do here? Gotta be careful on this website, even though they're a good public website. All of them carry good content. So I've given this. So I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to stop my recording. So I have enough of DNS traffic now, right? See? Got a bunch of it. Now take a look. Here is how to build one. I have my DNS here. I'm showing you because I'm not going to give you all the query you're going to need. You have to build your own query in T-Shark. You have to know how to build it. You will not memorize, or you will not be able to memorize all the names of those traffic. So look at this. Here queries. Click it, drop it down, go to name here, right click, prepare a filter and select. See that? You see dns.qry.name. That's the name of the field. See that? By building a query, now I know how to put this one over here. That is my query. But now my response, I need to figure out what is the response name. You understand what I'm saying? I've got a query, but I need to find out what is the answer. And I need to find out really quick. Anything that doesn't have an answer doesn't do me much good. I need something that has an answer. Does that make any sense? So you can look at your query right now. All these are all queries. It's not what I really need as much. This has an answer. You see that? So then I'm going to go down here. If you don't know how to do this, you will struggle a lot. Alright? Because now these are my answers. I can do this, prepare, selected. This is actually frame. I want to make sure I get the name of selected. Let me see that. See that? dns.resp.name. That is what response looks like. So then I come over here, not address. You see that? See that? So it's very easy. If I get something wrong, I'm just going to correct it. And then it works. So your assessment next week should be a piece of cake. Everybody should be smiling in the class. Next week. People should be like high-fiving, like, Israel is really making life easy for us. That's what should happen next week. Alright? Alright, so look at it. So let me go pull up the feed up again for you to see. You have DNS response, URL DNS query, the destination IP, the source. That's the only thing I want to see. And I say I want to see the time of the frame. And you can see what is it that we're looking at over here. We see the time of the frame. January 15, 2014. You see that? And then after that we said we want to see other information, the query, and you can look at those fields there if they are there. If the field is not there, it's just going to ignore them. You can look at the frame time over here. That's all your frame time. It's central time. And then my source and destination. What about the traffic I've just collected now? Can I save them? I can save them. I can just come over here and go to save as. And I would like to save it as PCAP, even though PCAP engine has more features on it. I'm just going to save it and I'm going to call it web. Okay? Got it? That is the traffic we've just collected now. And then I can go over here And I can apply the same thing. And you can see that's the traffic I've just collected down. Because there's a lot of traffic, it's got a lot of stuff in it, so it's just spinning through it. Right? And you can look at the time as well. I'm going to stop this now because you can see November 2, 2017, Central Time, blah, blah, blah. Right? I could say I don't need the frame time. That's okay. I just edit it out. And I see I have stuff like this in there. And a lot of what you're looking at over here private control mount, I put into paging. I have my source and then I have the domain name. You can see I have a lot of other traffic that is not mapped to domain name here. You understand what I'm saying? It's very important, at least for you to kind of know that there are certain times that you don't have those information in a given field. I could do more than that though. There are other stuff that I can also do. I can actually look for and say, do I have, let me say, do I have a file, which is something you could also do. Do I have a file that has JPEG in a traffic? Now, if you want to do that, you kind of almost have to know how to leverage T-Sharp. One of the things you want to look for, and I would do this for you, bring this up, and I will go to file signature. The first one, which is Gary Kessler, it's got all the file signature there. So I'm looking for PNG. I can see the header, file signature for PNG files. You understand what I'm saying? Then how will I look for them then PNG files? That's very easy. I'll come over here. So here's PNG, okay? So read the file. You can even start from here by just saying, hey, -y, okay? And if you don't know what this thing stands for, just do this. I believe you can do -h or -h. So you see, what are these keys? So when I type -y, you want to know this is packet display filter. You understand? When you see -t, which is capital T, this one is just format of text output, -t, and usually when I put -t, I usually put fields in front of mine when I'm looking for fields, and I'll give the name of those fields. You understand? I can do JSON, whatever, but I specify over here, -e, field to print. If I select the field, then I want to specify what kind of field I want to print. You understand? I can use JSON as well if I really want to do that. It's totally up to me. So I say -t, and I put the fields to print, and I use this one, that's the name of the field to print. I can do TCP port, I can do whatever. So this is a very, very good options to have if you forget what it is you're trying to do. So here I'm going to just say -y, and actually, you know what, I'm going to show you something more. There are two types of filter you might find out. There is the display filter, and there is also the capture filter. See that over here? Here is your display filter. Okay? So you already have a packet, and you're trying to, filter through, sift through already captured packet. But look at this one. This is your capture filter. You understand? This one is in your lip cap filter. In other words, when I want to sniff, sometimes you can overwhelm your sniffer. If you're just sniffing everything. So imagine if you're in this class and I say, hey, I only want to see when the two boys at the back are talking. Whenever she's talking, she's sitting next to you. You can just ignore her because you don't care. Right? Imagine if you have to listen to all this noise going on in the classroom. That will be overwhelming, right? But if I say only when the two boys at the back are talking, then it's a lot easier for you. So sometimes when I want to sniff on the network, you can put a sniffing filter that will specify what kind of stuff you want to sniff. Does that make any sense? Alright, so I'm going to proceed here. So t-shirt, now I'm going to say that's why. Okay, this is packet filter. I've already collected my packet. Okay, all right. So then I'm going to go over and say HTTP. That's what I want to focus on this time, and I can do this. HTTP contains. See, and this one allows you to write regular expressions. Okay, so here I'm saying contains. If my goal is to go after PNG files, then I'm going to need to make sure I know the PNG stuff. I need to know that. That's very, very important. I can grab the first packet over here, the phosphor, whatever. Just grab this. Then I'm going to put them in a quote. And make sure, so have something like this. The next thing you want to do is make sure you use colon. Does that make any sense? Alright. So then you can read the file that you want to specify. Read the file, and I say with how do I say, actually I put my stuff right here because I wanted to see this. Say colon HTTP contain and then one other thing also you want to take note is make sure you know how to close your quote, right? Because you have two quotes now, right? So I'm going to have two quotes here. See that? One quote for this one and the second quote for this one. See that? So make sure you got that one there, and once you do that, and then from this point you could run it and see what you get. Okay? If you get something wrong, you can always redo it. And look at it. It says that on packet 109 there is a file there that has PNG pictures. Did you see that? Got it? It's very easy. But you gotta know the file signature of the file. If I were to be looking for a Word document, I will have probably searched for something like, I'm looking for a Word document, I'll look for this one, I will have entered this. You understand what I'm saying? So, if I were to ask you, okay, look at this file now. I'm going to bring up this one, and I gave you a file earlier on, I call it web, right? .pcap. I can look inside that web and see if they have a PNG there, which is sometimes common among the web traffic. If I press enter, see, there are two files inside the web traffic that I went to go and download, and it said one is at 221.43, there's another one over here. See that? That's the advantage of this. I can also sift for credit card. You understand? I can sift for credit card, it's not hard. If I want to see if there's a credit card in a particular, I just need to know the pattern for that credit card. If I know the pattern for the particular credit card, it's a piece of cake. I will sift through it. The goal for me is to see, does the credit card has the type of files I'm looking for. So I know if it's if it is a MasterCard, it start with 5. If it's a Visa, it start with 4. If it's I think American Express, start with 3. And then there's a regular expression that I can put in over there that's going to help me to look through a particular traffic to see if there's a credit card there. And there's a credit card there, that's a piece of cake. And if you want to verify this answer, this one is saying there is one, they said there's 2 there that they found, PNG. If you were to actually go to look, this is the file, this is the web traffic that we're looking at here. I can actually go over here. I'll wait for this thing to load it. I can come over here and go to object and go to HTTP. You can see a lot of files here. And here we're taught 2143. Let me see if there's anything on 2143. See, on MSN, you see that here? Hello guys. On MSN, this icon. See, what packet number? 2143. Can I save it? I can save it. This icon I can go save and put it in this one. This 1085, and I can go back to 1085 later. 1085, and here is the icon that this guy is referring to. See that? And you guys were there when I downloaded it earlier. You saw me that, right? But there's more than that though. Actually, let me show you something real quick here. There's another, no, this one. This is the one I was talking about, sorry. The favorite icon here, not that one. So this one, that is a file, which is the PNG file. So this file here you're looking at is a PNG file, and that was what was referenced in the Wireshark. When I went over here and I look at accept object HTTP. You see, 2143. That's what I did. Favorite icon. That's what I saved that. And if you look at my search too, it tells me there's a PNG picture on packet number 2143. See that? 2143. When I did the same thing, when I searched for it, 2143. You see, there's another one on 14,002 to whatever. I can come down over here. 14,002 something. This one, another one over here. See that? 14232. 14232. And it's what? What kind of file it is? PNG. See that? It's the content and the type. So this image, type. Everybody find that? So if I give you a packet next week, this should be a piece of cake for you. Or if I actually say, look for how many JPEG files are in this given file. That's very easy. All you just gotta do is go to, Gary Kessler website, JPG, and you have this file. One thing about JPG is it's got a couple of files that, it's got a couple of headers. So it's got FFD8, FFE0, FFD8, FFE1. So what you will now do is, you have three options here. You can start with FFD8, FFE0. Finish that one and then do the second one. The reason I'm doing this for you now is because I don't want anybody to flunk, if you flunk the assessment 3, you're really going to hurt my feelings. So come over here, I can then do this. Scroll on. Scroll on. Alright, FFD8, FFE0. If I press enter, go to the WAV file. See? You get that? In your final, I might ask you to say here that they're giving traffic. Look for any presence of credit card. We're doing, want to make sure that there is no violation, credit card violation within our network. We want to see, what are you smiling for? You're looking down and smiling. Okay? I hope you're smiling next week when I'm giving you the exam. Alright? So you can see now, if I tell you how many JPEG files are in this whatever, you can quickly find out. These are JPEG files. Using T-Shark, identify how many JPEG files over here. If I say how many PDF in this document, you have to tell me. How many GIF, how many JPG, how many MP3, how many zip file, how many RAW. You should be able to find it. Just looking at this, that should be able to do it for you. Everybody's good? Any questions so far? So it's at this point that I'm going to have to stop, okay? Because this stuff you should probably be ready for in your assessment next week. If I want to do cap infos, I believe it's cap infos. Let me see if it's cap infos. So if okay, it's cap infos. If I want to do that for the web that I have over here, web pickup, see, just like that, you can find out cap infos. If I tell you when was this trace file collected, nice and easy, you can say, oh, this one is Israel, well, this thing was collected on XYZ date. You can look for the date that this thing was actually collected. The date should be there for you to see. Okay? You can look for the time. How long does it take? How long does this file take? So this is the file name, this is the file type, this is the timestamp, this is the size of the file, this is the capture duration, it takes about 91 seconds. Here's the date that the file was collected, 2017-19-11/02. Those are easy questions that you should be able to kind of do and then show me evidence while you're doing it. Alright? Thank you guys.